nationally known speaker, consultant, educator, and most importantly, parent talks about raising responsible children through storytelling skills and parenting playbook are what parents across the country are raving about. Finally, parents have a coach's playbook with a plan of action for handling situations with their children.
So I want you guys to think back at the day that your baby was born. Isn't that a great day? And you held this baby in your arms, and he was so cute, and he smelled so good. And he just wanted to be a part of you. He wanted to snuggle, you know, and you knew his cries, right? You knew when he needed to be fed, and you knew when he needed to be dry. You know, you were so connected to this baby. You know, he's so dependent on you. And then let's progress forward a little bit, and he turns 2. And suddenly he's a little person, and he has a mind of his own. And you start hearing things like, no, or why, or all by myself. We had one of those, all by myself. Or me do it, right? And you start to struggle a little bit, right, with a toddler. You know, they throw a tantrum. You're like, okay, where's the playbook? Who knows how to handle this, right? I don't know how to handle this. And get up, you're not my DNA, right? So you can kind of get through those toddler years, though. It doesn't last too long. And then you get into, I like to call it the honeymoon period of parenting. You know, your kids are getting independent. You know, they can dress themselves, they can feed themselves, they can tell you what they want, communicate. And the best part is they still think you're cool. You know, they still like spending time with you. Little boys want to marry their moms, you know, you can do no wrong. But this is a really tough time, though, because life gets really busy. You know, you get baseball games, practice, and you're on the road all the time. You pass your spouse, you know, on the road. And you get dance rehearsals and the PTA, parent-teacher conference, homework. You know, it's just really a busy time. But in terms of behavior, it's not a really tough time. You know, it's pretty good. And then one day, your child gets out of bed, and they walk downstairs, and they still look the same. But you realize when they open their mouth that somewhere in the night, aliens came and took your child. What happened to my sweet baby? You had hormones, you know? And you get sarcasm, the aliens just pour sarcasm on your child. And communication is this. Oh. Has your child ever done that to you? Teenager, especially? So they even have their own language. Does anybody know what NP is? I said thank you to my daughter, and she's like, NP. It's no problem, right? The world of text messaging. You know, SNF, so not fair. You know, as they walk away, IDK, I don't know. You know, so you have to, they just take over. They take over this child. Does anybody want their child back from the aliens? Anybody want to stop fighting with their teenager? Does anyone want their kids to want to do their chores? Yeah. If I can pull that off, this would be great, right? All right, well, I'm going to do that. So an inside-out parent knows that the #1 goal of parenting is to raise responsible, self-reliant adults who are capable of making good decisions. That's the result part of the inside out. That's the out. But an inside out parent knows that in order to get those results, you have to have a child who has self-worth. You have to teach them that they're worthy, and they have to believe that. They also have to have the skills to navigate life. You know, they need negotiating skills, and that takes practice. And then they also need to know that they can use those skills to make good decisions. This also takes practice. So there's a lot of parenting experts out there, and you know, I could talk to you about theory, and I could talk to you about what's happening in their body, what's happening in their brain, help you understand. But what I really want to teach you, I want to give you the playbook. I want to give you the playbook like a coach. You know, a coach has a play for every scenario that comes at them, right? They have a method and a strategy for winning the game. And that's really what Inside Out parenting is about. It's about giving you the tools. Now, did anybody have a drill sergeant parent? You know what those are? Because I said so. Did you have one of those? I had a mom like that. And you know, she did the best that she could with the information that she had. You know, we all do that. Who are our role models? So where do we learn our parenting from? We learn it from our parents or other people around us, sometimes people at church. You know, so she did the best that she could. But I never made a decision on my own. I went to college. You know what happened? I flunked out. I flunked out. I was a straight A student. And she didn't like that very much. But I didn't even know when to come in at night because she's not here. You know, it's 4 in the morning. It's like, she's not here. I'm going to stay out. You know, and so I suffered for that. You know, and I had to grow and I had to learn how to make decisions. I had to learn how to have these skills. So I'm going to teach you the ABCs of Inside Out parenting. Don't you want it to be easy? Yes. If someone gave you just 3 steps where you could teach all these things and you could get responsible kids, wouldn't that be great? Yes. All right, so here they are. And you can write these down if you want, but I'll go into them in more detail. But I just want you to have them right off the bat. A, allow them to make mistakes. You know, if the other type of parent is the search and rescue parent. You know, this is the one that's always at the school. They're taking lunches and they're taking permission slips. They're always rescuing. They're making sure that you have a coat. You know, the A of the Inside Out parenting says allow them to make mistakes. The B is be empathetic. You know, when kids don't do what we want, what's our first reaction? I can't believe you didn't do that. I gave you one thing to do. You can't remember one thing? You know, we get mad. That's our natural reaction. So I'm going to teach you how to be empathetic. It will drive your kids crazy. Because you know what? Your teenager wants to fight with you because it takes the issue off of them. You know, but your job as an Inside Out parent is you're going to learn how to make them responsible for their own feelings and for their own actions. C, you're going to connect the behavior with a consequence. We all know there's a consequence for everything that we do, and they're good and bad, right? You know, you can study hard and do well on a test and get a feeling of self-esteem. That's a good consequence. You know, you can flunk out of school and, you know, go on the 5-year plan, right? It takes you a little bit longer to get done, but they're all consequences. So we're gonna take some time and go through each one of these individually. Okay, so if you're learning something new, would you rather be lectured to or would you rather practice? Practice. Right, you want someone to show you. This is what the playbook is all about. So we're going to practice the be empathetic, because what I found is that if you can master empathy and connecting with your child and diffusing anger, empathy takes all the anger out of a situation. Okay, so we're going to practice that because your teenager is going to be really good, especially when you start putting their emotions back on them. So here's the scenario. Your daughter has just broken curfew, and there's consequences for that curfew. So I want you to pair up, and I want one of you to be the teenager and decide which one will be which. One of you to be the parent. The parent, your response is going to be, I know. And it has to be sincere. Sarcasm it'll blow this out of the water. It won't work. It will increase the anger. So in a sincere way, they're going to say things to you like, you don't love me anymore. And you're just going to say, I know. Now we know that's not true, but they want you to fight. Remember, they want you to fight. So they're going to say things like, but that's so not fair. I know. Susie's mom wouldn't do that. I know. Okay, you think you got it? All right, so pair up, and one of you be the teenager and one of you be the adult.